Hello everyone and welcome to today's episode of Path, Passion, Purpose by Dianes. We have the pleasure to be in Oslo, Norway, and to interview today Raja. Thank you for joining us today, Raja.
Thanks for having me.
So let's get going since we have 20 minutes. Please tell us or share with us what brought you to Oslo, what brought you to today and to the work you're doing today. Where did the journey start and how did it lead to here?
It's something I reflect on a lot. And it's not like a straight path. It's like a combination of many things that happened and then you connect the dots afterwards. So it starts in my childhood. I grew up between Morocco and Switzerland. So, you grow up in Switzerland, it's a special environment, and then you go to Morocco and you see a completely different environment with poverty on the street and so on. So I have some memories where I could look at it may sound cheesy, but I could look at homeless people, at very extreme people living in extreme poverty, and as a child it triggers you. You look at it and you wonder, and you just keep that memory with you. You question, but you don't really process the information what's happening. So there, I had a few episodes with some memories, some episode that happened in my childhood. Then growing up at some point, still going between Morocco and Switzerland, I was wondering, how come some have and some don't have? Is it possible actually what is missing here in the equation? So those who don't have, we can build a bridge, can start to create the life they want, feel more empowered, free themselves. So this is how it started actually. And I went into entrepreneurship because I was very curious, and also, Geneva University, HEC, then starting in banking, just like 90% of people from Switzerland or in Geneva. And I didn't feel I could make an impact. I could shape, I could be creative, I could have a say in the organization, even though I could actually technically, but I felt it was very limited space for creativity and really impact. So I was venturing on the side while being in banking, starting a few companies, of course failing. I was in my early 20s and I knew nothing about business, but starting just put a seed in me that started to grow and showed me that there is something into entrepreneurship. I want to go there. I want to explore. I met my husband, who's Norwegian, in Geneva. One day he told me, I got a job in Norway. What about Norway? And I was just ready. I remember I was holding our baby and telling him, it can't be worse than Geneva. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with Geneva, but I spent 20 years of my life in Geneva and I was done. I wanted something new. I wanted to open, to start a new chapter in our life. So here we are in Norway. I don't have a network. I don't speak a language. I want to start a business. I had no clue how to start a business. Long story short, because I did start a business here in Norway that of course failed because again, I was completely inexperienced and just did it with the first person I met randomly. I'm very optimistic and I trust people and it's working. Just sometimes, you never know who you're gonna end up with. So that business failed, and then I started to wonder, what do you really, really, really want to do? It's an opportunity. It failed, not the end of the world. Question yourself, what do you really want to do? And I was like, you know what? I still don't know what I really want to do. But, I should start learning from others.
Yes.
So the journey actually started by learning and curiosity, triggered by moments in my childhood. And a lot of curiosity. I realized I had to build my network, I had to learn. So how can I do that? I cannot go around and knock on doors and ask all the founders and CEOs to mentor me and teach me how they've done it. But maybe, I love hosting events, I love receiving people. Actually, the previous company that failed was an event planning company, right? So let's stay in event planning, but let's connect founders. I'm probably not the only one looking to learn and build my network. Let's see how many people are interested in this. So created a Facebook page, event page. Long story short, 9 months after launching, we had over 300 people at our events, and monthly it was a minimum of 100 people. So 100 entrepreneurs, investors, lawyers, everybody interested in startups and entrepreneurship and wanted to meet a co-founder or an investor or an accountant. So I started to build a community and an ecosystem. Mm-hmm. It became a full-time job. What was a hobby to build my network became a full-time job. And that really kickstarts the whole journey.
And why do you think it was so successful? Because as you said, you came here, no network, no language, but then 9 months later it's so successful. Would you say that Norway was missing that kind of ecosystem? Would you say you just put all your power inside?
Both. I arrived at the right time. Mm-hmm. The ecosystem was starting. So right time where more initiatives started, more incubators, accelerators started to pop up. There was a need. And there was no place for that kind of laid-back networking event. And still today, you still have like a few communities here and there, but there is not like this big community for founders to meet every month just to grab a drink together and talk. No agenda, no conference, no speakers, just networking and having fun. Building relationship first before business. Mm-hmm. Business comes after. Find people you share passion with, same values, a purpose, a problem you want to solve together, get to know each other, and then business will come. That was I think that's why it worked. That's why it worked, bringing people together.
And so would you just
with
say...
the same intentions.
Yeah, and I 100% I'm aligned with you. I think like at Alliance we try to always put the human connection first. Because I genuinely believe that if you build trust, you can do everything together, right? It's actually finding the people you can trust to work with, which is more important, especially when it comes to moving the world, shaping the world, and starting new things rather than the traditional path. But so we are here in Oslo. You now have a successful community. What's next? Did you then discover what you're passionate about? Did you learn?
Yes, I think I'm passionate about empowering through knowledge and through connections. So this is what our business do. We run, trainings for board members, for founders, for leaders on how to scale, on how to elevate their personal brand, to gain more authority, and so on and so on. And we organize events to make them. So there are the events, and there's also the continuous matchmaking we do. We have companies coming our way. We're looking for a board member with this kind of profiles, and we do that. So I'm staying in the community building. I'm staying in the human relationships, business. Mm-hmm. That's where I think this is very rewarding. It's energizing. I like it. You get quick feedback. You see the results quite quickly. They're satisfied. They're not happy. You can find solutions. Previously, I tried to build, I launched in collaboration with many other people, a job platform here in Norway that is now Nordic. Mm-hmm. I don't know, it's #1 job platform for Nordic startups to recruit talent. And so we had the tech component, obviously, you need tech to scale. However, today, I'm avoiding the tech. Tech is an enabler. It's not my core product. It's not how I facilitate relationships. And how I run my business. It's supporting the business because I really want to stay close to people. I want to go back actually to meeting you face to face. It's like a weird thing. I invest in tech because I'm also an investor. I invest in tech. I have used tech to scale communities online. I wanted actually to go from my offline community to scale it online. And this is what we've done. And now I'm going back to, let's scale down. Let's go back to what is manageable. Let's just go back to human connections.
And I think in the future this will become more and more important with AGI and everything that's taking off as we speak. The human element, meaning like how we bond, how we connect, how we come together, I believe is going to be more essential than the technology we're using and how it's taking over. Mm-hmm. But let's go back. So from the ecosystem for entrepreneurs, you mentioned then you launched a company which became the #1 job platform, like job search platform in Oslo.
My company was running the management contract in Norway to launch the hub.io, which is the job platform.
And from there on, so still in the human bonding, human connection, the next phase is, because you mentioned you also educate board members, etc. Right now, I think you're basically doing several things at the same time. Yeah. Can you explain that a little bit?
I wish I could have just like one pitch line to explain what I do. So I have a few companies, 2 investment companies, one by myself, one with others. I sit on investment committees. I'm on the board of the of an association for angel investors in Norway. I'm also an investor, even though I decided to slow down my investments this year to focus on my own companies. And we have 2 companies where we train board members, one, and the other one, advisory services for leaders and CEOs to scale and grow on LinkedIn.
Yeah, and what would you say are you, what you're most passionate about, which comes back to also your childhood? Is it like giving people the opportunity to fulfill their potential in work and in life? Or is it more bringing people together to just, connect?
I think like the bonus is the connection. Mm-hmm. That's like the add-on. That's the pleasure for me. At the core, what I want to achieve is to empower people through knowledge, giving them access to straightforward knowledge that will empower them, that will help them move from 0 to 1, go from 0 to 1. In a simple, straightforward way, there is so much, when it comes to business, there is so many layers we add that are unnecessary, and we forget the core, which is solving a problem, finding clients. It's not about going for investors, it's about validation through clients, and there are a lot of methodologies to do that. It's about going to human again connection, sell. There is a problem, how can I help you? I will help you to sell. So this is how we help people go from 0 to 1 quickly in a simplest way possible.
Which is so important. And how do you see the next 10, 20 years of everything unfolding in your personal life as well as in the world?
It's a very good question. I think I will, a vision I have is to, at some point, I don't know if it's in 5 years or 10 years, hopefully we're still around, is to create a space for actually people to kind of retreat. I work with a lot of leaders and CEOs and investors who at some point when they have reached the top or their dream, they realize, actually I'm exhausted. Maybe it was not worth it. Maybe I missed an opportunity to build relationships, human connections. Maybe I didn't take care. I actually didn't take care of myself. So I would like to create a space where they can retreat. That's for the same community that I'm helping today.
And so retreat more like a mind, body, soul space, or also about leadership? Or?
It could be trainings, but also a safe space where they can be themselves and they can just like nervous system down. No need to be an overachiever all the time, okay? Just like go get your hands dirty in the garden, okay? Go plant some tomato seeds, Yeah. Just go back to basics. You have achieved great things, okay? Maybe now this is the next step for you. So somehow, I'm going through, investment, tech, global, unicorn, boom, achievement, scalability to scaling down, going to face-to-face meetings, to training a small group of people, to organizing a place in south of Europe where we can meet, learn, get inspired, and chill.
So interesting because similar to you, the more successful the people I speak, but who are connected to themselves and also where the planet is going or where civilization is going, the more we are all going towards, let's call it event management or human bonding or human connection. And it's even like top tech entrepreneurs are saying the same. And it's this trend where if I look around, whether it's actually in London or anywhere else, everybody's getting more and more concerned and also into how do we actually, as a civilization, come together with the right values and with the right mindset, more than the do's. So more the heart than the mind. You mentioned before, like, worth it. Do you think that path you went through was worth the effort, or would you do something different today?
No, I enjoyed all of it. I had to go through that path, and I went through that path to get where I am today. So, no, I'm very happy. I feel fulfilled. I still have a lot to do. I was about to say a lot to prove, but I don't want to prove anything anymore to anybody, not even to myself. I just want to be and continue serving, to continue helping people. If I can help you somehow and empower you, let me give it a try. Maybe I know somebody. Maybe I have some knowledge I can share with you. So this is where I find, no, it's been a great journey. Challenging, but great.
It's always challenging. The journey is always challenging, and as you said, connecting the dots only makes sense in hindsight very often. Raja, it's so nice to be with you in Oslo, out of all places in the world. I love Oslo, and thank you for taking the time today to actually sit down with us. I really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure.